Hey everybody, sorry for posting Plan With Me's late. I'm posting this Plan With Me 3 days into the week that it's planned for, which is a little bit ridiculous, but the past couple weeks have been really stressful for me. And with a lot of the issues that I'm having right now, I really don't see that changing anytime soon, unfortunately. Anyways, I'm trying to use actual themes for all of my weekly spreads, and most of my monthly spreads as well. So the first thing I'm doing is writing my theme down in the bottom right hand corner. What the theme is should generally be obvious, but every now and then there might be something that has like a really unique theme or that is really a little bit more specific than just looking at the page might be. So the theme for this spread is a storm. Please keep in mind that I am not an artist, okay? Um, I feel like a lot of the ones that I'm doing right now with colored pencils haven't turned out too well, but I don't have a lot of artistic ability. I don't have a lot of practice. But every time I do one of these spreads, I am getting more and more familiar with actually using colored pencils to draw. So, little by little. Um, so I always say that I'm going to cover up those numbers at the top that I never use, and then I never do it. They usually just end up getting ignored instead of covered up with anything. But since I'm wanting to do gray clouds at the top, I decided to go all the way to the top because there's no point trying to draw gray clouds, in my opinion, on those gray boxes. So that's what I did here. I pretty much just went over it with gray and black colored pencils. As you can see, I started without really going for any type of shape. I'm just kind of doodling all across the top right there. I'm about to grab the black colored pencil, as you'll see. I know I can't draw realistically, so it's fine for now if something like clouds looks a bit elementary, so to speak. But I did kind of try to give them a little bit of shape once I was done doing these little back and forth marks right here. And I do also want to completely change how I'm organizing my stationery. I know a lot of people like watching those videos, so I may actually do a video about that specifically. Um, I don't mind having like excess pens and stuff in a little box like that, but with colored pencils, like I really need it stacked somewhere where I can see all of the colors instead of constantly having to scoop through all of these colored pencils. Because this, as you can see, is a pretty good set. It's got a lot of colors. I don't know what brand it is. It was probably a pretty cheap brand, but it's got a huge selection of colors. So it's great for someone who's really trying to get in the habit of drawing more frequently. So at this point, as far as what I'm drawing right now, I'm just about done with the clouds. I'm basically just going back over and kind of shaping the edges just a little bit. Like I said, I know I'm not an artist. Granted, I could have put a little bit more effort into making them cloud-like, but I also feel like it's good to know like what level you're at. I'm not trying to make them super high quality because I know I don't have those skills yet. I'm just doing what I can to make it obvious what it's supposed to be. But another thing to keep in mind is that I was already a bit behind in even getting to planning this week, so that was another part of the reason for why I did this the way that I did. And then of course I'm going in with a blue pencil for my rain, which I think could have turned out a bit better. Like they look fine right now, but as you'll see as I progress across the rest of the page, I get kind of sloppy with it, and some of them look like, I don't know, like it just looks lazy. If I made all of the raindrops look like the ones I'm drawing now, then I think it would have been fine. But as I continue to the other side and go to the next page, a lot of them looked kind of sloppy, unfortunately. But overall, I definitely don't regret doing this theme, and of course it's something I can always redo when I do have a little bit more skill. So the raindrops, like I said, I do kind of get irritated with it and they start looking sloppy and lazy, unfortunately. But I think at that point I was just feeling rushed and I was just kind of ready to just get this done and move on. And while I don't regret going with this theme, I do definitely regret what I did next just a little bit. So originally on each separate page I was going to do a lightning bolt that kind of separates. You know how a lightning bolt will kind of flare a little bit and there will actually be like 2 or 3 points where it actually makes contact with the ground? That's kind of what I was originally planning to do, but I decided not to do that. I decided just to do one single lightning bolt with one single point of contact. And I did it mostly through the day of Monday since I didn't have anything really going on that day. The problem really is that it just. I guess most of this page looks like a child drew it, but that's kind of. That's just what it is. It can be pretty natural for lightning bolts to have like these really jaggedy edges throughout them, but people I feel like way overemphasize those things when they're drawing an actual lightning bolt. So I kind of just wanted to make it look like it was going down. I guess it's still fairly obvious what it's supposed to be, but in my opinion the end result is that it doesn't really look like a lightning bolt. I don't know what that is. I know what I wanted it to look like, but that's not what it is. It's just one of those things where you visualize something in your head a certain way, and then you do it pretty much exactly how you visualize it, and it just doesn't quite work. Anyways, the next thing I'm doing is going in and just notating the days of the week and the dates, which is something I always do in this planner because I really prefer a Sunday to Saturday spread. And I also feel like one of the reasons I kind of put off this plan with me a little bit is because it's just frustrating. I'm frustrated with my job, I'm frustrated with my situation, I'm behind on bills. Just a lot of things are just really stressful and up in the air and unsettled, and I'm just tired of it. That's just kind of all my life has been for the past few months, and I'm tired of the stress and the chaos and feeling like I'm doing too much to get nothing done. It really sucks to feel like you're putting a bunch of time and effort into things that are just not paying off. Anyways, so for what I'm actually writing, I'm putting the times that I need to be at work, and for all other tasks, I'm basically assigning a number of hours to that task. I will probably go back to some type of method of actually blocking out how many hours are represented by these lines. But when I do a spread like this that has a really specific theme that kind of goes across the page, I just kind of felt like that would take away from the storm theme. So for this week, Tuesday for example, I've got laundry to do, I've got blog and promo to do, and of course I've got work. And then for Wednesday, I'm doing a gig for 2 hours, probably filming for 2 hours. I'm very much behind on filming. Well, not really behind. I'm actually caught up on filming, but I want to get ahead and stay ahead as much as possible. Currently, Mondays and Thursdays are my days off from my evening job, which I will probably replace at some point, and I am starting a morning job in a few weeks. So, that's what I've got going on for now, but everything about my schedule is going to change in a couple of weeks, which is sort of annoying, but also kind of the right decision. So my days off will change, what times I'm working will change, all of that fun stuff. But like I was just saying about filming, that's really one of the main reasons I want to be as ahead of as possible at all times, so that if I do kind of get overwhelmed by my new schedule, or if it ends up I have to work more hours than I originally planned, something like that, I don't really have to worry anymore about trying to find time at the last minute to catch up on filming. So as you can see, I've got plenty of things that I want to work on Thursday, and then for Friday and Saturday, doing a little bit of gig work. There's plenty of little to-do tasks at home that I'll be taking care of that I'm not actually writing down. And then for Saturday, work will just be my main focus. I may do some gig work on Saturday, but honestly, with the week I'm having, we'll just see. I may not. So anyways, that is it for this plan with me. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.